Hi, it's Brendon Payne with Century 21 again. And so I wanted to get you some information on, you're going to get a lot of agents and a lot of people telling you that, for sale by owner never works and, you have no shot at it. I don't want to get on that bandwagon and say you don't have a shot at it. There are for sale by owners in our market that sell. Now, it's probably somewhere in the range of maybe 10 to 12% of the people that sell on their own ultimately end up getting the contract through closing. And for some people, those numbers might be very acceptable. Now, it's important to understand though, what in that 8 to 10, 12% of people that sell, what's the scenario and what causes them to have success? The number one reason that when for sale by owners actually are able to find success and get sold is because the property was priced typically where the property, the value of the property in the eyes of the buyer outweighed everything else. So we know most of the time price is a direct reflection of the demand that is created for the product. No different with homes. So if you're creating a lot of demand for the property, then typically you're getting a better price. Now, what's the biggest contributor to demand? That's exposure. So you can think about it, if no one knows about the home, then there's not going to be as much exposure as if every potential buyer in the market knew about the property for sale. So what you have to understand on selling on your own, if the exposure is less, the demand is less, typically that means that the price needs to be less to overcome the other two variables. So for a lot of people that are selling on their own, if you are very, very, very interested in selling quickly, and price is less important than time. You need to get it sold quickly. You don't want to be on the market 30, 45, 60, 90 days. Then typically for sale by owner can be a very, very good option because you are willing to price the property, at or below market value to make up for the extra time that the marketing would use in order to find the right buyer. So if you're in that position where you want to be able to get it sold very, very quickly and price is less important, then for sale by owner may be a very good route, because when we look back, we do the research on properties that sold on their own, we know that the majority of them were priced very, very aggressively, sold very quickly, and that's primarily because not everybody knew about them. It's kind of like if you've ever been involved in an off-market purchase. If you go in and negotiate a deal when no one else is competing with you and the buyer knows no one else is competing with them, then typically they're not willing to pay the highest price that's out there. In a market where there's good activity like we have now, in a properties out there where it's competing with multiple buyers, that's typically how you get the highest price. So first secret, make sure that if you are selling on your own, that you're in line with where the values are, and typically that means being at market value or a little bit below in order to really maximize the exposure because you don't have it in front of as many people. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.